I'm Ijewere, founder of AugmentResults, where we help companies and individuals power performance and optimize results. Essentially, I just help people change their behaviors to get more success and have better results. So today we're going to be talking about building and managing teams. I was lucky enough to be asked to talk at a digital festival last week, and I was humbled. 139 people signed up to listen to my talk. I was a bit scared as well, and we started the conversation about the importance of leadership, especially in the pandemic and in times of crisis, and how having the right leadership is essential to ensure that your team stay motivated and they stay hopeful and they continue to edge forwards in a time where it's so easy to be inert, it's so easy to just stand still. Today, my guest is Eddie Akan, and she's a lady who I've known for years and years, but who underestimates her brilliance and her accomplishments to a huge degree. And I'm going to be reading about her because there's just so much to read. But we're going to be talking about building and managing teams together. And I want to see how to add her now. Let's see. Great. Okay. Hi, Eddie. Let's see. How do I add people onto this? Nope. There we go. Hello, everyone that has joined me. Thank you so much. So wait for Eddie to join. All right. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. Trying to figure out this thing.
Yeah, look, I know. Tell me about it, right? You're looking beautiful as usual. I'm loving these glasses. Okay, so Eddie, I'm going to read your profile because I couldn't remember all of it. It was that accomplished. So basically, not really a nutshell, but in a nutshell, Eddie is a lawyer by training, so she got degrees in law. She has over 18 years of corporate experience spanning legal practice, business development, risk management, and compliance. Let's see, gosh, I'm going to try and scan. She started her career in a law firm, and then she moved on to running the conference secretariat for the 2004 MBA National Delegates Conference. So you have to explain what that is. But essentially, now Eddie is the Chief Compliance Officer for Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers. Stanbic IBTC, for those of you who don't know, is one of the largest banks in Africa. And my lady here is the Chief Compliance Officer for the pensions aspect of it. And she's also a regular speaker at the Compliance Officers Forum in Nigeria. And she's joining us all the way from Abuja. Hello, love.
From Lagos.
You're in Lagos. Now, oh, you went? Did you go? You're now in Lagos. Can you see? She just keeps moving around. I can't tell.
Hello.
Hello. So first and foremost, before we get into our conversation, how are you doing? How's everything in Lagos? What's it like at the moment? I mean, we are right here in the thick of it in London, but you guys are a bit behind on the curve. What's the expectation? Are we expecting things to get really bad, or people are actually, on it?
Well, I think for me, the primary concern is how are people dealing with it individually in their homes. The isolation. We're not used to being isolated. We're not used to being on our own, staying at home, and that is a major challenge. But the government is doing the best they can. Are there things we think they could do better? Yes, but COVID is an evolving situation. Everybody is essentially playing it by the ear and reacting to issues as they come up. So,
yeah, exactly. Fantastic. So at least you're fine. Family's fine. Everybody's healthy, right?
Thankfully, yes.
We give God praise and thanks. Okie dokie. So let's continue this conversation because I have a feeling it's going to be a long one. And the reason why I asked you to join is that as long as I've known you as a professional, what I've always noticed is when you post online, always, your staff are commenting the whole time. Oh, that's my boss. Oh my goodness, she was my boss. Oh, she's the best boss ever. She's always this and she's always that. No matter what you're talking about, and you do promote what you are doing at Islamic IBTC a lot. You have relatively large social following, and you talk about what you're doing, and you share with us your trips to China and your trips abroad and all sorts of places and all things that are happening, all the conferences you attend that you lead. But your employees are constantly, oh, she's amazing, she's the best boss ever. And I thought, oh, when I'm talking about building teams, I need to get Eddie on that. I don't know what magic he's done. I don't know what y'all are doing over there. Teach, share with the world. So the first thing I started to think about is, okay, so there's team building in various categories, isn't it? So you've always worked from a very, I guess, large organization perspective. With that correct? Yeah. And some of the people, a lot of people that will be on here will be people that are starting their own businesses, or they run smaller companies with fewer employees. But the principles are the same, right? In terms of finding the right people to feed into your vision for what it is you want to deliver, right? So tell me, my first question is, what is the one thing you look for in people?
I think the first thing I look for, the most important thing for me, is critical thinking. The ability to analyze scenarios, situations. It is so important. Even if the person is not able to, it doesn't have the skill sets that you require. The fact that somebody's able to dimension things properly, the person would even tell you, oh, I don't have the skill set, so I need to leverage on this to get that. So critical thinking for me, thing that I think.
And you see, that's actually a very interesting point you make, because that critical thinking is greatly impacted by cultural experience and background, right? I mean, we've spoken about this, just both of us being Nigerians and understanding how, it's almost, you're older than me, so I follow whatever you say. I can't disagree with your thinking because that's disrespectful. It's not just an African thing, it's very much an Asian thing as well. The Far East Asia, as well as areas like India, Pakistan, we do have this reverence for our elders.
Yeah.
So, how do you assess that? How do you assess that when you are hiring people?
It's, you give people scenarios, or you allow them to tell you scenarios where they've had to solve a challenge and how they were able to solve that challenge. What were the steps they took to solve the challenge? And just having conversations with people and throwing things out there to see how they respond lets you know whether this person is actually thinking through what you said, thinking through the scenario you outlined, to come up with an intelligent response. Now, he might not have all the answers, but that you're able to even dimension what the issues are. Maybe not exhaustively, but to some extent, yes.
So what's the least intelligent thing you've had said to you? Sorry, I don't know what you guys think, but I would love to have an
example. There's a lot, and they're all situated maybe within the work context. So I've learned to sort of deal with it. I think my emotions show on my face a lot. I should learn to get a poker face. So because when you start to go off point, from the look on my face, you're going to know that, okay, I think I'm missing it somewhere and all that. But, you get it. You get people just throw out things. And again, sometimes it's because people think,
yes,
that if you just speak, and like I tell my team people, it's not necessary to speak. Your actions can't speak for you. If you must speak, make sure that your contribution is sensible. But you have some scenarios where people think that you just have to talk. You have to be heard. So they just say what comes to the top of their mind without actually thinking about it. It sounds good. So, and it makes me look like I'm in charge. I'm doing something. I know something and all of that. And what I tell my people is that to the rest of people listening in the team, it lets us know that there's literally nothing in your head. Because like I said to them, if you have nothing in your head, the best tactic to hide that is to keep quiet. Is to keep quiet and listen. I just listen and nod intelligently. You're so right now. You're so honestly. When you don't know what they're talking about, there's no need to ask unnecessary questions. Just listen, and while listening, you will pick up some of those things. And then, because again, critical thinking, you can think through what the person is saying. You are able to follow and then ask intelligent questions. Exactly. Then it looks like, oh wow, you're so brilliant.
You're so clever. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I do leadership training, and a lot of the time when I'm working with my clients, I'm saying to them, you don't want to be seen as the noisiest person in the room. Sometimes it's actually valuable to be the questioner. I say, I think especially when I help my clients a lot to try and raise their visibility. So if that's in the workplace or in their business, it's really about, okay, how do I show myself as a leader? And so therefore deserving of that next level, pushing forward, Yeah. And so I say, take a stance. If you're afraid to ask questions, but you're very confident in your area or your function, then be the one asking the questions. Oh, can you explain to me how this and this is going to work? And it's so valuable because you might be actually showcasing a perspective that they hadn't thought of.
Exactly.
Senior leadership, they don't have visibility of that thing or that area or that issue. Ask a question that gets everybody go, I hadn't thought about that.
And the thing is, I tell people that everybody brings a different perspective to the table based on exactly your own experiences, where you've come from, what you've done. I work in compliance, but by virtue of my legal background, there are some things that would come up, and I would remind you that, no, this is not quite right, because the law says this, the law says that. Now, if I'm talking to somebody in business who doesn't have a legal background, they would not have seen that perspective. So that's what I bring to the table. Sometimes it's also about where you've worked, perhaps the experiences you've had on the job that bring a different perspective to the issue at hand. And you shouldn't always assume that everybody at the table knows more than you or knows exactly what they're talking about, which is why critical thinking is important. So when you think through things, you then ask intelligent questions. And that's what makes you seem intelligent, rather than mouthing off, which is what a lot of people think that they have to do. They have to get loud and to be heard, to be seen, and all of that. I don't think so. I think it's really about asking intelligent questions, having intelligent conversations that commend you. And courageous conversations as well, not just intelligent, but courageous. Because sometimes you have to be willing to talk on the subjects that nobody else wants to touch on.
Absolutely. So that's the whole speaking your minds, finding your voice aspect of things, right? Exactly. But coming back to building teams, right? You spoke about, basically critical thinking being the primary thing you look for. So let's say you've hired a person, because they've gone through skill set, whatever it is, they've been able to answer the competency-based questions with enough, variation that you're like, okay, yes, definitely, I think I can build on this person. What is the thing you cultivate into all of your direct reports, all of your team?
The one thing that I think that I drum into everybody's ears is attention to detail. Attention to detail. When you're given a task to do, pay attention to detail. Don't rush through the task because you're trying to be the fastest. I would rather, in my case, your report come just at the nick of time, but then it be so perfect that I would literally have to do no additions because you've covered all the bases. And we're really having a conversation on, okay, this is fine, but, as opposed to you send me a report, it's shoddily done. T's are not, crossed, I's are not dotted. You're not paying attention to look and feel of your document. Those sort of little details. So it is the attention to detail. And I have to tell people this because I say, look, everything you do speaks for you when you're not there, when you're not in the room.
Yeah.
And documents that you prepare will outlast you in the organization. So you might have left the organization and reference will still be made to things you did while you were in the organization. So that is your fingerprint, that's your footprint in the sands of time in that organization. So it's important that you pay attention to detail, pay attention to what you're putting out. Is that what you want people to see and know about you as an individual, as, career person or whatever? So that is the major thing I tell my people.
So how do you balance that off with procrastination? Because like a lot of the people I work with, there can be at different ends of that spectrum. It's like, attention to detail, but then there's procrastination. They don't actually get anything out. And I'm like, do you know what? I would rather have progress over perfection. I want you to deliver something that I can actually critique rather than not have anything come from you at all. So how do you balance that?
So you have to, and that's why you have to know the individuals on your team. There are some people that you would give that task and you go to sleep because you know they can manage their time and manage themselves. There are other people you give tasks to, and you have to follow up constantly because procrastination is their problem. Yeah. So you ask for it ahead of time, earlier than time, and tell them, look, I don't care where you are on this project now. Let me see what you've done so far, so that you can also provide some kind of guidance if they're going wrong, and just tell them, okay, yes, you're on the right path, continue like this, and check in with them more regularly than you would with the other people. So that's how I deal that. I've actually had people like this on my team, and I tend to be somewhat impatient. I know that about myself, so I try to watch it. So because of that taught me how to deal with those kind of people. Because I know that you are a procrastinator, I will start with you first, and I will follow up on you more tightly than I would with the others. So I would ask you to check in with me with your work, and just to see your progress, what's going on. Okay, what have you done? Send me what you've done. Let me start to review that, and like that, and like that, and like that. That's basically how I deal that. Those kind of
So how do you, like, for instance, just thinking about the small business owners amongst us and how to almost start to try and translate some of this into tangible things that they can touch on. I'd like to actually delve into the interviewing process, how you go about that. In large companies, it's very different, isn't it? There's all these layers, it's either a psychometric test or some funny thing to do. And there's lots and lots of layers because there can be lots and lots of layers, not there. In a smaller setting, a small business, I always felt that it's very important to have that touch. I don't know how to quantify it, but I know the people I want to work with. And for me, it's always been about looking for strengths outside of my strengths, where I'm very good, I look for someone. But how do you, we always talk about managers building the trust of their employees, right? And that's a really good leadership trait. You need to build trust. How do managers trust their employees? How do you build that trust? The other way around, starting off, because that's where it all starts, isn't it? I have to trust you enough to give you this relevant work to do.
Okay, so trust is something that you would build. Trust is something you would build over time, in all honesty. You can't say from day one, I trust this person or whatever. So it's over time. You start with small tasks before you begin to delegate bigger tasks to the person. Now, the small tasks help you to determine the level at where the person's level, where the person's at. Yeah. How good are you at this? Where are your failings? Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? So that's how you build the trust over time. But again, it's also a function of your personality or your integrity, so to speak, as a manager. If your direct reports or the people that work with you are sure that you will give them valuable feedback, not just mouthing off, screaming at people, calling names, but valuable feedback that would actually help them improve in whatever area. in whatever aspect, then they're more likely to listen to you when you tell them, no, I don't think this is the way to go. Another thing is that you must always give an open room to hear other people's opinions, other people's thoughts. So when you're having a conversation with them, it should be, okay, look, these are my thoughts. What are yours? Let's have your thinking. Let's workshop your thinking, and let's come up with a solution that works for all of us. So if you make them part of the process, that also helps to build trust, rather than you barking orders at people and just say, okay, I said you should do this, go and do that. I said you should do this, go and do that. No. If there's a situation at hand, throw the problem into the group and say, look, guys, this is what we're expected to do. How do we do it? What do you think? And then you can then guide as appropriate to come out with the right outcomes you want to see. But making them part of the process gives them ownership of that process. You say, okay, we actually thought of this together. It was a co-creation kind of scenario and not just you telling me what to do. And then over time, that builds their confidence and then builds their trust in you. Yeah. But it's important that as a line manager, you should be, what's the word I'm looking for now? I spoke about integrity, but I think you should be fair, just, equitable. So something I think we spoke about the other day, where I said I had a line manager who said, in her tradition, the older person is always right. Yeah. And so if she had a scenario at work between two people who were having an issue, she would immediately ask who was the senior in terms of rank, and that would be the person that was right. And that it took somebody sitting down with her to tell her, no, that's not right. You have to look through the issues and then decide what is the right way or what's the right thing, and then communicate that regardless of whose ox is gored, or regardless of who it impacts negatively. So it's not about who's older or who's more senior. It really is about, in that scenario, what is the right thing to do, where's the right way to go. Now, if your line managers or your line reports realize that that's how you think, it will build trust in them, because they will know that if I go to this person, she will be fair. She will look at things fairly. Yeah. It wouldn't be a blame game on me. And then that encourages them to come to you with issues and problems and,
and build trust. Exactly. Does decision making change under pressure, in your opinion?
I think that yes. Sometimes pressure can affect the decisions that we make, and so we have to be conscious of it. To say that this decision I'm making now, is this the best decision in the long term and not just in the now? Because sometimes something that looks really good in the now is not necessarily good in the long term. And there's always a pressure. Especially in Nigeria, where everything is now, to make decisions on the go. With time, as you get experience, it gets easier to make those decisions quickly, but new people in their career journey would struggle with it a bit, which is why you are there to provide some kind of guidance. So, and which is why people should actually look out for mentors in business. So if you need to make a decision real quick and you're not quite sure about the decision, it's always good to touch base with somebody whose judgment that you trust. To call and say, look, this is the thing and this is what I think, and what do you think? And that helps you to then come up with a solution that's workable for everyone.
What's interesting to me is you just said something about with time and experience comes that confidence to make more to make more challenging decisions. What if you have an issue like I had with one of my clients, whose complaint is that his direct report is overly confident and thinks he can make decisions that are way outside of his remit, and he's having to rein him back. Now that's a completely different problem to have. How do you manage that person?
Okay.
Listen, I love your confidence without completely eroding them a bit.
I think that for that kind of person, and I will relate it to an advice I got from one of my managers in the course of my career, Ijewere. I just become a regional manager, and for the life of me, I didn't understand. I couldn't grasp, what does a regional manager do? Yes, I've seen the job description, and it has all these things I'm supposed to do, and has reports and all of that. But really, what does a regional manager do? what does it entail? This thing that people have told me that I should, and he said to me, John, is there something you want to do for your region? Well, go ahead and do it. And that, if you're overstepping your boundaries, people will let you know that you overstepped your boundary in that regard. And then okay, that's the limit of my power to that extent. Nice. And then so he encouraged me to test that out. So if I had somebody like that in the team, I would just understand that the guy is testing his boundaries and the limits of what he's able to do. And it also would make me see that this guy is willing to take on additional responsibility.
Definitely.
So how do I then channel all that excess energy? Because it's excess energy. How do I channel it? So look for more tasks to give him, more difficult tasks to give him, to keep that person motivated. That's essentially what it is. Because that person is saying, look, this thing you're telling me to do is not enough. I mean, it's not enough. I need more. So give him more. I think test him with more,
Interesting. I have suggested that. Didn't quite go down well. Went down a little bit like a lead balloon. I'm like, there's opportunities for stretching. No, not ready yet. So now that's the other side, isn't it? So maybe some element of micromanaging in my clients, for my clients' point of view there, going, no. I know there's some element of wanting to protect this person and not let them expose themselves too quickly to situations that they might not be able to come back from. All those managers sometimes, or good managers, can be a little bit like mama, can be a little bit like daddy, can be like the big brother that wants to kick you but doesn't want anybody else to
There's something I say, and I tell people all the time, I say premature exposure will kill you.
There you go.
Premature exposure will kill you.
This is it.
So where you find that sort of situation where you think, yes, this person wants more, but is not quite ready, I think what you need to do is to have those honest conversations with the person first of all. That, yes, I see you, I hear you, and you want more, but you're not ready. And tell the person why he's not ready. So point out the things that you are seeing that the person needs to work on to be ready. Not just tell the person you're not ready. No, you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
So you must be able to point out to the person you're not ready because of this reason, because of this. If you can work on this, work on that, and work on this, then you'll be in the position that you want to be in. But if you don't do that, and I give you this opportunity now, you're going to run into trouble and ultimately affect your career in the long run. If you have those kind of honest conversations with people, then they understand that, look, you're not trying to, because again,
that's what I was going to say.
It's not that you're trying to hold me back. You're jealous of me and my talents. I want to be big. I know this thing. I can do this thing. And you're just putting a spanner in the work. Thank you. But if you have those honest conversations with people and let them know, these are where your strengths are, and they're fantastic strengths, but these are where your weaknesses are, and these weaknesses can lead you down this road. So before I release you, I want you to be able to work on these things and show me that you're better in these aspects, and then I can release you to your next level.
Yeah. No, so it's open, honest communication. And communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening. So basically also making sure that you're hearing their request, you're understanding where it is they want to go, what it is they want to do. And so kind of guiding that a little bit better with valid explanation and points behind that to go, well, you could do that. Yeah, absolutely you could. However, my experience tells me you're going to get burned here. You're going to fall off the cliff there.
Exactly.
Unless you're scared. How about you prepare a little bit? So kind of just managing expectations in a very positive way, right? Okay, cool. So, we've actually jumped ahead into the managing of teams and managing people. In terms of building teams, just thinking about what is it that turns you off from people. So I'm trying to kind of delve into your experience to help people be more discerning in their own selection. This is the reason why. A lot of small business owners, for instance, will not take on people or build out their team, even though they need to get to the next level, to push forward, to progress, because they are so uncertain.
about this person that they're going to bring in. How do I know they're the right one? I don't think there's a right one. You just have to trial and error. But maybe if we can help them in any way possible, just to be a bit more discerning about how they go about it, to have a bit more of a process. So what is the thing that kind of turns you off? When you meet someone, what is that thing that they do? And you go, nah, this is not going to work in my team. I can tell already it's not going to be a good fit.
Oof, let's see. Somebody. First of all, I think that is when people try to, I don't know how to put this, pretend answer. Maybe I don't know how to put this. You know, I ask you a question, and you're trying to give me an intelligent answer. So you're giving me an answer that is just pretend. It's just surface. It's not. And I'm looking at you like, really? Please don't try to impress me. Okay, you know what? Speak pidgin English if that's how you think you can communicate this thing I need you to communicate it, because I'm looking for something. You know, so I don't like people who like to, you know, slap paint on a pig kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to get the nitty-gritty of the issues, of the details. So I don't like this people that like this window dressing. So don't give me those window dressing answers. That puts me off. That puts me off. Because
come prepared. You want people coming prepared. To have a conversation, right? Not to have an interview.
Exactly. To have a conversation, not an interview. Because it's the course of the conversation that, you know, you then begin to see things about the person. And I'll share one interview that I had. I was only about a couple of months in that job before I started with Stanbic. And I remember going for this interview, and the gentleman said to me, after we'd gone back and forth on a couple of conversations, the guy says, so how come you did not make a 2-1 in school? Because you sound very intelligent. And I said to him, because I didn't read hard enough. So, and you know, he looked at me and said, well, that's an honest answer. I said, because it's true that there really is nothing in getting a 2-1 on first class. It's just the vocab. And at that point in time, there were a few distractions here and there, you know, but we made it out in one piece, thankfully. So, and you know, it was the response to that question that got me hired. Because he was like, this is somebody that is honest about failings, flaws, strengths, weaknesses. Simple as that.
You can trust that, you know. If you don't understand something, the way she responded, she's likely to come and make sure she gets clarity, she understands, so that we don't gap and we can move forward. Right? Someone just asked an interesting question, and I think we should address that. Hang on. They said, how do you encourage or build a healthy relationship amongst your employees or team members? Because some might not get along. So how do you manage that? I mean, right now, just give us a bit of context. So at the moment, as the Chief Compliance Officer for Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, you have direct reports coming, 20, 25 in your team?
No. My team is very small. Compliance, they don't give us money, remember?
Compliance. It's not good. I don't know why. But, so the team is narrower down now. But then in your previous, like when you were regional manager,
oh yes, I had a lot more people that were reporting into it. I think that the first thing is that as an organization, as a business, you must determine what the values are for your business. In Stanbic, it's easy because we have certain values that speak to personal characteristics. You have integrity, you have respecting each other, working in teams. These are values, and we try at every point in time to re-emphasize those values every single time. So for small business owners, I would say the first thing to do is to have your values as an organization. Have your values outlined first of all. What is acceptable behavior in the workplace? What is not acceptable in the workplace? And have everybody, and teach that to everybody, and constantly emphasize that. There's something we do at work, which is every meeting we have, we discuss a value before we start the meeting. So every meeting in the organization starts with a discussion of one value. One person has to talk, and it has to be experiential. So tell us your experience with what, and you can pick whatever value. Okay. Now, doing that constantly helps to keep re-emphasizing culture and the values. So for small business owners, first of all, determine what are your work ethics and values that you want to see and start to emphasize that. Very important. And if two people are not getting along, first of all, okay, people have different temperaments, people have different characters. Temperament
experiences, cultural background.
Is to help people be more aware of their temperament. I'm a very lively person. I can jump in the face. I can be, I can be all over the whole place and all that. But there are people that are quiet. There are people that are quiet. In fact, there are some people at work. I tell them that, when I go, I just want to be like you. Serenity, the quiet that surrounds you is amazing. I wish I could be like you. So you have to help people be more emotionally intelligent, be more emotionally aware. That because this person is lively and outgoing and that doesn't necessarily mean the person is trying to put you down or talk to you anyhow. The person might not actually realize, So just to help people be more emotionally intelligent in understanding who they are and how that might impact on other people within the team. So you don't necessarily have to be friends, but you do have to work well together in the workplace. That is, and you shouldn't compromise on that, whatever that is. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's talk about managing these teams. So I worked in large organizations and I've worked in small organizations. And it was very interesting to me because I learned the most when I was working in small organizations because I got more exposure. There's not there's one person to do every small aspect of a job. So you would only in a large organization, so you only get exposure to your bit if you are lucky. So in a small organization, I was kind of just thrown into deep end and go, build that out, sort it out. This is the client. And now we have something to talk about when we go out. And it was like, okay, what should I do? I have to make sure we don't look silly. What are some of the challenges that you put in the way of your team to develop them, to grow them in a large organization that we can start to actually pull on?
So because when I started with Stanbic IBC Pensions, it wasn't a large organization.
Okay.
So that actually also helped, in my career. And I realized that helped because I remember when I started, I was posted to Kaduna. And in Kaduna, I had to be customer service, business development, sales, agent management, agent training, relationship management. I had to do all of the above, and I really didn't have people working with me. So I had to figure out a lot of things, how to plug into my colleagues at the bank, upskill them so they have answers to things and people walking, they can also address those things. Join a closed user group, telephone user group. So if I'm out of the office and you have to call me because you have a particular issue and you can't deal, I can respond to that. So it helped me to think on my feet. Now, as the organization has grown larger, as you rightly pointed out, those opportunities are not necessarily there as they were before. So for my teams, what I try to do is, and this has been a deliberate policy of the organization, have cross-functional rotations, cross departments. So it could be ad hoc projects, be something company wants to do, and they'd be like, oh, we have this thing coming up, people should volunteer. So I encourage my team members to always put up their hand for those things. I said, because they're learning opportunities.
Yeah, take advantage.
Everything that you learn stays with you. No knowledge is wasted. And whatever you learn to do here, you can replicate anywhere else, as long as you learned it for yourself. So those opportunities arise, and if they don't, I then push them out to say, okay, do you know what these guys are doing? Well, you take reports from them, go and sit with them. Go sit with them and find out why the reports are coming the way they're coming, and understand a bit more their process and what they're doing. And I think that helps them.
And how can the people that have small companies, because if you think about it, a small company is actually fairly large in comparison to solopreneurs and, very small entrepreneurs. So they might not have that breadth of work to deliver on that will expose them, the owner, for instance, and their team, if they have one, to those different aspects. What can they do? What can they do to almost artificially create? I mean, like I know with my assistant, I'm constantly setting her research tasks. Might not be anything I do. But I'm like, I want to know about that. Go find out.
So that's a good place to start from, setting them research tasks. Just go find out stuff. I mean, like I always say, no knowledge is wasted, and I like to know a lot of stuff. So if I just, I like to know a lot of stuff. So I'm constantly reading all sorts of, junk.
Weird and wonderful.
Weird and wonderful. So yes, that's one thing. Another thing you could do is probably leverage on, if you're a small business, I would say it'd be a good idea to look for industry peers or industry associations, and leverage on industry associations to say, go and observe what they're doing in this company and, find out how we can get better. Conferences, training. You might not be able to afford trainings per se, but there are some conferences that are free. You should be able to go for those. Yeah, push them to go for that. Let them learn something new, Just build up their knowledge generally. If you don't have the breadth of work to test them in the workplace, send them out. Send them out and let them go and learn things. That's, when you mentioned my trip to China, when we went to China, part of the learning, we would only do classroom from about, say, 1 to about, from morning till about 12, 1, and go for lunch. And then we would go on visits to companies. Now, those visits to companies were very eye-opening. They were a lot more insightful than just sitting in the classroom and hearing the professor teach something or the other. So I think that's another way to learn. Go out and observe. Go and look for places where you can learn. And so if you're looking to build a particular skill set in your team or a particular competence in your team, look for organizations that exhibit that competence and ask if you could do a rotation or something with them, an internship with them, so your people get to learn and all of that. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I just buttressing on your China point. IK runs an asset management firm. IK is my brother. And they had like a couple of trips to China over the last 2 years. And he said he's never had learning like that, because these guys are just wild. They do some wild things that are considered. And he was like, oh my goodness, my brain is about to explode.
Exactly. Honestly, and that was the exact experience I had when I went. It was the same thing. I was like, oh my God, people are doing this. Oh my God, we are so behind. Oh my God, how will we catch up? Oh my God.
Exactly. My brother doesn't get excited. He doesn't get excited. Very quiet, very chill. He was visibly like shaking. Like, oh my goodness, it's bad. And so that's actually a very good point, I think, there for smaller companies to kind of adopt that innovative, almost agile positioning, thinking about, okay, what is the next wave? And where could I fit in? I might not fit in, but where could I, if you don't really know what's going on?
Exactly.
So COVID-19, we're here. It's changed everything. I think in countries like Nigeria, it's going to be huge, amazing, because things that for those that don't know, in Nigeria, working from home is not at all something that is it's like, what? No, you have to be sat in this desk for 10 hours of your day.
I have to see you walking.
I must see you with my eyes. It might be magic, it might be a gimmick. So now I think that's going to really address that issue, because they have no choice. All this infrastructure has been established and put in place, and people are actually delivering work from home. But you as a manager, I know it's a smaller team now that you have to deal with, but I think possibly because of your leadership position in the business in general, there will be this consideration for the business as a whole. So how are you guys actually leading in COVID? What has changed?
Ooh. Okay, so at this time, I'm constantly having to reiterate to my team the need to hold themselves accountable when nobody's looking. Because that is the downside to working at home. I don't see you, so I need you to hold yourself accountable to what you're expected to do. And of course, if you've outlined clear goals, clear deliverables from the beginning of the year, it's easy to track that. So you demand updates on what they're expected to be doing, and they provide you those updates, so that you can track their progress and actually what they're doing. But again, one of the, like you said, with COVID now, because before, the problem with working at home in Nigeria was people just didn't believe that you'd work.
Yeah.
I don't believe you are going to work. So there's this work out. You don't say, scam. You don't want to go and faff around. You want to go and be playing around and do your own thing and telling me you're working from home. No.
Yeah, you're running your business.
You're running your business. Exactly. But now with COVID, people say, okay, well, this is possible. But for it to be efficient, like I said, you must have set clear goals, clear targets, clear deliverables from every single individual member of the team, so that you're able to call those people to account on those deliverables. If you haven't done that, then you will struggle a bit with working, having your staff members work from home. So the first thing is just to be very clear about your goals, very clear about the deliverables on those goals, very clear about the measurement of the deliverables on those goals, so that we're not arguing here. This is how we said we would measure, this is what we said we would do, this is what we said, and these are the outcomes we wanted to see. So it's clear to everybody from the get-go. And then hold people accountable to that. Hold people accountable to that. If you hold them accountable to that, they will generally do what they're required to do when they're required to do, because they know they'll be held accountable for it. So if people think they can get away with not doing work, they will get away with not doing work. It's as simple as that. And I think it's human nature generally. If I see that people are not really paying attention, you have to have your clear goals, clear deliverables, clear targets, clear measurements from the get-go, and that would help the scenario. So for us as managers, my job at this point in time, the emotional aspects of the job are coming to the fore. Like I spoke about isolation in this period, and you're having to check in with your team to make sure everybody's okay. Are you okay? On your own, especially for those that are single at this point, because if you're single and you haven't left your house, the likelihood that you had human interaction with somebody is very low. And that is so important for your own mental well-being. So you have to touch base with your people. Again, meetings help, but please don't overburden people with meetings, because they actually need time to work.
Is real.
They actually need time to work. And again, because everybody's at home. So for women that are married and have children, peculiar scenarios. If your children are young children, you are supposed to do online schooling with those children. Can you imagine trying to online school a 4-year-old? That usually will not sit in one place.
No.
So, and then you still have your work deliverables and all that. So I think that people should be a bit more sensitive to the time and to the things that are going on. Managers should be a bit more sensitive. And then look, again, we've agreed goals from the beginning of the year. Go back and look at those things. Are there things that are impacted by this scenario at this time? Do you need to scale down a bit on some of the deliverables? Because honestly, COVID has changed the game, and you might not even be able to deliver some of the things you originally set out to do. So don't put that unnecessary pressure on your people. Call them back and say, you know what, let's look at this thing again. Is there something here that is impacted by this scenario? Let's take it out. Let's rejig it. Let's rework it. Let's, do something about it. So I think that's very important. But emotional well-being, you need to check in on people. Just make sure they're okay, you're all right. Have a team member whose wedding was supposed to be around this period. So I kept checking on him. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you talking to your fiance? Because she's outside the country. She's in London and he's in Nigeria. So she was supposed to fly in and all of that, with the whole airport shut down and all of that, and so I checked with him regularly, and I remember that the last time I checked in on him, he said, that his friends did something really thoughtful for them. They organized a Zoom meeting on that day that would have been their wedding, and just had them talk to themselves, and then, almost like an online vow ceremony, but not, you know what I mean? So, so it was, I was like, that's very sweet of your friends. That's really nice. But, you need to check in on people. And even the people that seem to be lively, just checking on them once in a while.
Actually. Yeah, it's actually, I find it's worth for those people that are very extroverts and very gregarious, because they're not able to express that side of themselves, especially if they're like at home and they're on their own, that kind of thing. So it can be very challenging for them. One of the things that I'm finding with my clients is proving to be a challenge at the moment is the constantly changing tasks and goals. So, we talked about being very clear about what the goals are, and that's usually the norm. In COVID, those goals are sliding, they're moving the whole time. And aside from the managers, the leaders checking in, because of course there's all levels of leadership, isn't it? So if you're, working with very, very, very large corporates, the senior leadership team are doing what they're doing, the board is doing what it's doing, and you might be, executive level, but still by the time things calm, everything starts to shift. How do you motivate people to continue with these never-ending, changing goals and tasks? Because that's just what's happening. I mean, the first 4 weeks of COVID were about reaction, and now I think what I'm saying to my clients is now we need to be looking at adaptive measures, how to adapt. So we reacted, the shock, it's happened. Now it's about also some thought and energy has to be given to how does the business evolve as a result of what's going on. Yeah. But in that middle, there's a sticky place of I can't take it anymore. I was asked to do something yesterday, and today it's all changed. So all of yesterday was a waste of time. I'm a person. How do I keep going? So how do we motivate people?
So I think again, just being honest with your team. Just being honest with your team to let them know, look, nobody has the answers. We're trying this thing. We're literally making decisions on the go, and it's impacting you. So just be honest with you. Be straight up, honest, plain. Guys, we've not seen this scenario before, so we may test some things, they may not work out. We'll come back to you and say, do something different. If you're honest with your people and you carry them along on, if you cascade the senior management vision down appropriately, they will understand what is going on, and so they're able to deal that better. But if you keep them in the dark and today you just come and say, okay, do this, tomorrow you come and say, okay, no, don't do that anymore, do this. You come and tomorrow do this. You're not going to get the sort of reaction that you want to get, and you're going to get people, you're going to frustrate your team members. So it's important to cascade the information from the top down. Let them know these are the challenges, this is why the management is reacting like this, these challenges, these are what we see. You might be surprised to get insights from the team, because again, when you're in senior management, you're far removed from the reality of the touch points on the street, basically. But your people down there have that touch point, and they can give you that feedback, and that helps your decision making. So if you're not sharing with them, then you're not going to get that. So at this time, I think it's even more important that communication and communicating honestly, openly about what the challenges are, why the solutions that have been put in place, so that even when it doesn't work, people say, okay, well, we wanted to do this, okay, it didn't work, so okay, yes, we understand why it's being changed. But if you have not given any communication, if you're not kind of, you're going to struggle. Yeah.
Agreed. So going back to the emotional intelligence, and I'm an emotional intelligence practitioner, so I'm always banging on about it. And I actually do believe that it's an essential skill amongst leaders, hands down, because you're technical up until a certain level. That technical ability helps you. Thereafter, it's irrelevant. It's a commodity. You can buy that, and it's actually the ability to lead the people that actually impacts the performance, the outcomes, results of an organization. So that's, for me, very important. And we're talking about, helping people manage their mental health at this point. Like, just out of interest, mental health is not something that's really spoken about in Africa. Amongst my people.
Oh, yes.
So how is that actually being managed at the moment over there? Here, so like it's going out of fashion, but over there, I wonder.
Well, I think that the awareness has actually started to come into Nigeria, and that started a couple of years back when the economy took a downturn, and we started seeing people attempting suicides and stuff like that. So the awareness started to come out that people are struggling, mental health issues, and all of that. And I was on social media the other day, and there's a lady that I think just took her own life. And some people on the thread we're condemning the friends and family members. How could you not see? How could you not know? Blah, blah, blah. But other people on the thread were like, no, this is a mental health issue. People don't always know. They don't always blah, blah, blah. So, it was good to see both sides of that argument, because prior to now, what you would have seen that, that girl is a fool, she's mad, she feels herself, she's useless, she's this, that, would have gone off, Nigerians would have gone off on a tangent. That you now have people speaking to say, no, this is, yes, challenging that thinking it shows that there's some growth. We're not at a full yet, we're not yet there. So there's still work, but the awareness is coming up every day now and all of that. And I think that social media has helped us to become a more expressive society. Nigerians are generally not very expressive, because right from when you're a child, you're not supposed to speak.
Don't talk.
Don't talk.
Be quiet.
Which brings me to a challenge in compliance, which is creating a speak-up culture. Because you need a speak-up culture to drive compliance. Yes. So you have people grow up in a culture that says don't talk, don't say anything. If something happens, don't talk, hide it, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's playing out even now in the COVID scenario with some of the results we are seeing, because we're hearing stories of states trying to suppress tests so that people don't, suppress testing so that they don't get a large number of results. And you're wondering that really, should that be the consideration at this time? But when you look at the culture and the background where we're coming from, where you know that everything we need to always hide things, don't talk, don't say this, But social media is helping Nigerians become more expressive. Much more expressive, and I think that will definitely impact on mental health in the long run. But again, the awareness of mental health is coming up. People don't just think that if you have mental health issues, you're mad. The other day we had an event for our International Women's Day. We have a women network within our organization. And one of the speakers was her name escapes me, and I can just see her face. The publisher of Genevieve magazine.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, the name escapes me too.
Very well.
Exactly.
Betty Rabo.
Yes, Betty Rabo. Thank you so much. And she came and she shared her story with mental health issues. Yes. Because she's a mental health advocate. And I was amazed because, first of all, we see her in the news, we see things about her. It would never have occurred to me that this person would be struggling with anything.
Absolutely.
Anything like mental health. But, and that's why she's speaking up about it now, and she's, an advocate for mental health issues and all that. So I think that the awareness is growing, and with Nigeria, a lot of things are stigmatized. Everything, if you're single, you're stigmatized. You have HIV, you're stigmatized. You have COVID, you're stigmatized. I'm reading a news article about somebody saying her employer fired her because she got COVID. So you're wondering,
that's not actually based in Nigeria or Africa like that. It's the same thing here. I have conversations with people and I'm like, how have you been? Oh, I'm not feeling well, or I've been ill, but it's not COVID. And I'm thinking, well, even if it was, why does that make a difference? What's the big deal? You got something, you're getting over it, thank God, moving on. But people are actually making sure to qualify that, no, I'm unwell, but it's non-COVID related, I promise. I blew my nose earlier. Don't worry, it's just hay fever. It's not COVID related.
Exactly. So I think that speak-up culture is going to help us. The more we learn to express things, express emotions appropriately, because some emotional expressions are not quite appropriate, but yes, express emotion, express appropriately, yes. I think that would help in the long run, and just generally the awareness growing of mental health issues. Yeah. More could be done, and yes, but it's a start.
We'll get there eventually. And I think my final question is going to be around optimism. What role do you think optimism has in today's worldwide, globally?
Okay, so I think that being optimistic really helps you to give hope. Because if you're always able to see the good side, the upside of anything, it really helps you to pass on some encouragement, some hope to other people. Because there's some people that they never see the positive in any situation. It's always the negative. And so they get into a frenzy, worrying and thinking and all that. So if you're able to help them see, but wait, hold on a second. Why don't you look at it this way? It helps to give hope. And I think that's why it's important. I think that's why it's so important to be optimistic. Yeah.
Brilliant. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you so much. That was an hour.